Joining me now is my friend Shemeka Michelle. She's an author and contributor at The Blaze TV. Shemeka, let's begin here at the beginning. All this January 6th talk this week, it's such an obvious effort at distracting from the real issues that matter to people, and yet it seems like the right falls for this stuff all the time. Why are we so easily led around by our nose? It drives me up the wall.
We are so weak and it bothers me. This is why I love when you say the new right, because you talk about those that need to be strong, that need to be fearless, that aren't afraid to stand up and confront communists. But the right, as I see it, are just so weak. Like, I can't even believe we've let this go on for a year, knowing that it wasn't an insurrection. It's not what the mainstream media has said it is, but yet we continue to let them push this narrative that this was the worst thing in history.
Shemeka, we let them push a lot of narratives out there, and we let them to push a narrative about the FBI too. And I'll be honest with you, as a young kid in Ohio, I wanted to be an FBI agent, right? I was 6, 7 years old. I wanted to have the blue jacket on with the yellow letters on the back and the shades and the pretty girl on my arm. The FBI sucks, Shemeka, and I don't trust them at all. I feel like their sights are aimed squarely at people like you and me. I feel like they've become a completely partisan organization. That's a dangerous place for a country to be.
Well, as a Black woman growing up in the hood, I guess, I never liked the FBI. I always thought the FBI was shady and couldn't be trusted, but that was because I was used to seeing them take down, I guess, I don't know, drug dealers that I knew. So they've never been friends of mine.
Shemeka, we have an aircraft carrier now. It's a really important day in America. We have our first ever nuclear-powered aircraft carrier captained by a woman. And this is actually what I really wanted to talk to you about tonight, is this society we have now. It's not limited to the military, but I go off on that all the time. This society that we have, that everything has to be inclusive now. Do we have enough gays here? We need women. We got to have a lot more women. Why do people care about inclusive? I don't care about inclusive at all. I don't care who's on my staff. I want the best people at all times. Women shouldn't be in the U.S. Navy on deployed naval vessels, let alone commanding the thing. Why is that so hard for people to say?
Because people are nuts, Jesse, period. That's what it is. Look, if I'm flying in an airplane, I don't want the person that got the job simply because they were Black or Asian or a woman. I want the person that was capable of flying the plane. I don't understand why that's so hard for people to understand. And we want them included in every single thing. I don't think a gay that's worried about, painting his fingernails is the right person to be on the front line. A woman either. So I don't know why this is so hard for us to accept in the military. I understand we went from don't ask to don't tell to just including everybody. But to me, I don't want a man who would take up space in the pedicure chair because he's more concerned with his feet looking good than fighting for our country.
Shemeka, where are all the men in the country to stand up and say the things that apparently we have to rely on now women to say? Why aren't there men out there saying such things? Lots of them.
I think so many men have been neutered. As a country, I think America, we've just been, America has been neutered. Men have ran this country since its inception, but where are those men that felt like that was the way it should be? They've all crawled in a cave somewhere or just, put their testicles on a mantle for display, and it's of times past. Because what we are saying, it makes sense. When we had roles and we understood where we were as men and where we should be as women, the country ran a lot better. Now that we act as if there's no roles and everybody can do everything, we're in a shambles. And I don't know why people can't see that. It's not a bad thing to be a woman and to be a wife and cater to your husband and take care of your children while the man goes out to make the money and to fight for the country. That's not saying that you're less than. That's saying that you play a different role in society, and that's the way it should be.
Amen. All right, which brings us to Vice President Kamala Harris. That brings us to her. She has yet another staffer who has vacated on her. And she honestly, I find her to be fascinating, Shemeka, because she obviously is an extremely ambitious human being who will do anything to get ahead in life. And yet, she's an idiot. I mean, every time she's interviewed about an issue, it's clearly something she hasn't read anything on at all. So she will do anything to succeed except for read.
You know, the last time, Jesse, I said something about the vice president, I got in trouble a little bit. So while I'm here on your show, I would just like to set the record straight. I shouldn't have said what I said because I have no idea if she was actually on her knees. And she could have really been like, look, Ma, no hands. So I want to apologize for any misinformation, but you're absolutely right. She is only in this position because she was considered Black and is a woman, not because she's qualified for the job. Although there's not really much that a vice president does, most of the time we hope that they at least have intelligence and take policies and issues and people seriously, which Kamala Harris does none of these things. She's there for show. She's there because she fit a certain stereotype, and she should have never been in this position to start with. People don't like her. That's just it.
Shemeka Michelle,